got called out a few minutes ago backstage.
I heard.
It was not what we were expecting.
No, I don't think it's what anyone is expecting, except probably him and Henry. They probably had it planned, some evil master plan. But that was by Pantoja, who's cool. You know, he's on the Ultimate Fighter, and he did a good fight against Eric. But that fight obviously doesn't make any sense for me or anybody, I feel, that saw the call out. So that doesn't make any sense, but it's obviously funny. And, you know, basically that he's Henry's boy, and it's like Henry's so satisfied for his loss that he's not asking for another fight, but he wants one of his cronies to. And, you know, they planned that out. You know, someone told him to call me out. So it's just funny, like I said, you know, he's so satisfied with the loss and his people, you know, telling him that he did good, that it's like, why don't you fight me or you call me out? You know, you're not asking for a rematch, but you want one of your little cronies to, you know. And Pantoja's cool. I have nothing, you know, bad to say about him, but the fight, you know, definitely doesn't make sense for me. But once again, if they match it up, cool, you know. I'll put him down, show him how the top guys do it.
So this past month you were unbooked. Has anything changed?
No, nothing's changed. You know, we're talking a lot. Obviously, after my fight with Henry, you know, I feel at this point, you know, the only logical Demetrious is the fight is the only fight I want always, but it's one of those things. It's like you don't call people out lower than you for me, and I'm not necessarily calling out DJ because, you know, our history already. So it's one of those things you got to wait for the media, the fans, the people to actually want it, you know, before you do. And this has been the most, you know, I've seen people like, hey, third shot's ready. So like I said, I don't ask for anything, but, you know, I'm at the point where I feel like I've, you know, I've done what I've had to do, you know, by beating who I have to, and it's that time. So I guess we have to fight again, you know, and I understand where DJ's at if he doesn't want to fight me for a third time. But there comes a point, you know, as the champion, you just have to fight the best guy, and if that's me, then we got to do it again. So I'm ready for that. That's definitely what I want. I think he wants, you know, another fight from what I heard. And I don't know how true this is that he wanted to fight Wilson Hayes, but Hayes is fighting in Brooklyn because they were matched up before, and Hayes is fighting in Brooklyn. And even if he wins, you know, that's two unranked opponents he's beaten his last two fights, not necessarily deserving of a title shot. And also, from what I heard, DJ doesn't want to fight till later in Vegas. Once again, this might not be true. He might be ready to fight in May. It might be me and him. As of now, that's what I think. So I'll even fight Hayes before that. That way we know the best person is going in and fighting DJ because, you know, he has his time that he wants and his opponent he wants. But, you know, I think as the champ, you fight the best guy, even, you know, if he's beat me. So that makes sense to me, and that's some things I've asked for, if that's the correct timeline. If not, if, you know, he's ready earlier than that, I'm ready too.
We saw UFC let go Ali Bagatino and Zach Makovsky.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that? Does that say anything about how they feel about this division?
No, I think they're just bringing in room for, you know, new talent, especially with the show. You know, I think they want to sign a few guys from the show that have more of a potential, where I think Bogatinov and Makovsky are both great fighters. I fought them both, and they're both extremely tough fights for me. But I think they're at that point, I think one has lost twice, Bogatinov, or two or three, maybe three. No, 3 of his last 4, and Makovsky's lost 3. Even though he can go in and contend, I feel they feel their time is kind of behind them, where they can go in and they can beat some of the newer guys coming in, but I feel maybe they're making room for some newer guys on the show, like you just saw, you know, like we talked earlier, Pantoja, Eric, you know, Brandon Moreno, and maybe some other guys from there. So I think bringing in the new people, the new blood is always good. And those guys have had their chance to fight some of the best guys in the world already. And, you know, I think with the correct fights and everything, they could be back as well. Because even though they're not in the UFC, they're going to be 2 of those guys that are on the outside that are still, I think, world class.